If you were present at the Game Awards, I'm sure I don't have to tell you that Nagoshi finally revealed his game that he'd been working on for years now. This new title is called Dragon Like a Yakuza, featuring the new protagonist, Kazuya Creo. This man got himself involved in some unwanted business with a mob, and now must deal with them to forge his own path and future, the way he sees it fit. Just kidding, that's not the actual game. I bet I fucking got you though, huh? Alright, let's talk about the actual game now. Instead, it's actually King of Dragon, a mob game where you play as someone who's involved in some business with a Korean gang and you beat people up, and it takes place in Kabukicho. Wait, that's the actual game? I was just kidding. I wasn't... Oh my god, Nagoshi, why? Come on, man, just be a little creative at least. In all seriousness though, the game was recently revealed at the Game Awards, featuring a short trailer which is being played on screen now. From it, we see the protagonist named Shinji Seong, who is played by Ma Dong-sok, is in a bar before some unknown dudes walk up to him, threaten him, and he makes short work of them. For some reason, this guy reminded me of the drunk dude from Majima's prologue in Yakuza 0. They just kinda look alike. Speaking of, we'll talk about this a bit later. Afterwards, we see what looks to be various cutscenes from the game, featuring his car, some fight scenes, and explosions, of course. Before it's revealed that all of this is taking place in Kabukicho, the area where Kamurocho is based on, which I'm sure most of you know already. And that's it, but only for the trailer. Let's make our way over to the Steam page. In these screenshots, we can see that there is a bit more of gameplay present, if you really want to call it that. We can see that both hand-to-hand combat as well as gunplay are a relevant part of this game's overall gameplay. However, besides this, there isn't much else to see in terms of the actual game itself as of right now. So all we can really do is speculate as of now. I've seen many people say that it looks similar to Sleeping Dogs, which I can see as I've also played and completed Sleeping Dogs a long time ago. This game balances both gun and hand-to-hand combat play very well, not feeling like one overshadows the other too much. Alongside this, it also seems that driving around the city will also play a large role given how you're able to customize your car, which after translating the options, they include tune-up, dress-up, which I assume is any physical customization to the car itself, vehicle-mounted weapons to attach weapons directly to the car itself, we out here playing full auto I suppose, repair and refueling, which is pretty self-explanatory, and ammunition supply to replenish the ammo in your car. Very intriguing. Looking more at the description of this game, it talks about most of what I already said, but looking a little more into the details, it seems that the protagonist is a high-ranking member in a Korean syndicate based in Kabukicho, and not necessarily a Yakuza. He of course gets involved in underworld conflicts, leading to whatever events may take place once we understand it a lot more. This, along with the upcoming Stranger Than Heaven, seem to be pushing more towards a new direction, away from the usual Yakuza games, using the series more as a base for the game rather than just putting a new coat of paint on it, kinda like how Judgment was. I am looking forward to the release of both of these games and hope they turn out both great for the fans and the studios. Alright, now let's talk about some more serious topics here. I haven't really said my piece on the situation, but there are two major things that are occurring within the community as of late, with both Kagawa and the delisting of Yakuza 0, Kiwami, and Kiwami 2. And I'm pretty disappointed with how things are turning out. For one, let's just talk about this. Likeness actors. Look, I think they're cool. It's really cool to see all these great actors performing their roles so well, such as Shosuke, Shun, Kimura, and Shinichi, just to name a few. But there have been quite a few controversies with some of the actors that have arisen over the years, whether the actor was at fault for something or not. I mean, yeah, it's cool to see so-and-so, the famous actor from Japan, appear, but from being involved in the acquisition of drugs, involvement with organized crime, and now sexual assault, you'd think that after the second time that some actor was involved in some type of controversy, they'd push back against this, but unfortunately no. And this may continue as future releases come out. I don't have a problem with likeness actors, but it seems that there is always some issue that all of a sudden I hear about, and it sucks. As for Kagawa, look man, I'm a person who's all for forgiveness, but I don't know. Some things are just hard for me to ignore, especially in this scenario. It wasn't just some accidental one-off thing that happened, and based on my research, he sexually assaulted 2 women, the first being Mire, which is a pseudonym and not her actual real name, who was assaulted twice on the same night, and the second, who I could not find the name of, was also assaulted that same night. While Kagawa had since apologized to his first victim and even received her forgiveness, she was left with PTSD and actively avoids Kagawa's appearance to help herself. As for his second victim, she never received anything from him, no apology in any way, shape, or form. So with that being said, it's just hard for me to look past all of that. But that's just me. I know people are going to agree with me and disagree with me on this, but that's just my stance on the situation. Also, the general handling of the situation by RGG was not great at all. Ignoring the whole thing and hoping it blows over was definitely not the best path they could have taken for this. Censoring the words "remove Kagawa" from all forms of social media is not how you address the problem. You're only shooting yourselves in the foot by doing that. Like, even just a fucking paragraph of them addressing the situation would be infinitely times better than what they're doing right now and what they're still likely doing. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to drop everything I love about the series, toss everything out onto the street and burn it. I just hope that the studio could do better going forward and maybe try to take a break from trying to get actors who were involved in some sort of controversy, as it's really not helping their image. And look, I also see some people trying to say that Yakuza is all about forgiveness, and yes, while I do agree with you on that, Kiryu also beats the shit out of people who try to force themselves onto women, so it just kind of falls flat there. Let's just get that out of the way. Along with this, the delisting of these games isn't really helping the bad light that RGG Studios has on them already. Although I feel like this is more of a SEGA issue rather than an RGG one in this case. Regardless, the delisting of these games being replaced with the new and improved game really isn't the best move here, especially since the cost of the games are increasing as far as I'm aware. I don't know what the exact cost of the original game was, and I can no longer look at it since, well, the games have officially been delisted as of now. But I believe the original Yakuza 0 was priced at $20, with the director's cut now being $50 for those who haven't purchased it yet, $15 to upgrade for those who already have purchased it. But for some extra cutscenes that you can just watch on YouTube, and a mode that not many people play, which is overshadowed by a mod made by a fan, along with said mod and other mods breaking as a result, I really don't think it's worth it to spend that much money. It just isn't. It's honestly a shame to see the studio fumbling so much right now, but the only thing we can do is hope that it doesn't get any worse from this point. And now we're at the end of the video. I just wanted to get my thoughts out there, especially since I've been absent for a bit. I really do hope things can look up from here, because I really don't want to see the studio that produced one of my favorite series of all time dig a deeper hole for themselves as time goes on. But on a lighter note, I do look forward to seeing the new Gang of Dragon game, as well as Stranger Than Heaven when that eventually comes out, and seeing how things will unfold for these games as we learn more about them. And this isn't a diss to any likeness actors, even though it may seem like I am. I'm just hoping in the future RGG Studios picks their characters a lot more carefully, and not one that has a shady background like this guy does. I'm also looking forward to Ma Dong-seong's, or Don Lee as he's also known as, performance in the new Gang of Dragon that's coming out. Really interested in seeing how this guy actually performs in his role, which I have high hopes for. Man, that's pretty much it, guys. Yeah. And don't worry, I have been working on a new video. There's just been some issues with it. It was originally supposed to come out back in August, before my semester started. However, I somehow lost the video files and everything affiliated with that video, and I have no fucking clue where it all went. And it was kind of frustrating. So I pretty much had to restart production of the video from the very beginning, and it kind of sucked. And I've been working on it throughout my semester. But it's eventually going to come out, and you'll know in due time when it does. Until then, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys later.